The Uganda National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024 is fake. It has exposed General Museveni, Yoweri Kaguta, Anita Amongi Speaker, their main agenda. Baswadi.
Madam Speaker, I am at pain. I am a coffee farmer and I represent so many coffee farmers out there who are worried about the harm of a dissolution of an agency that regulates and promotes coffee in this country. Our colleagues here are just thinking about merging. We are talking about livelihoods. We are talking about our lives. This is not about merging one organization and the other. We are saying this agency has the sole responsibility of regulating coffee industry in this nation. Coffee brings in the main foreign exchange. Many of our people depend on coffee. Now you're here saying we are just merging. The law is saying dissolution. The provided for is saying dissolve. UCDA, do not take us for fools. Do not take us for fools. Yes, you don't come here and...
Honorable members.
Our business, this is our life.
Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Kabanda.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members. Honorable members.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I want
just a minute. Just a minute. Honorable members. Even if you want to achieve something, you don't have to get noisy. You don't have to get noisy. This is a house of intellectuals. A house where we are going to debate and debate for the people out there. We must debate with sanity. So, honorable members, I need you to listen. There is a clarification that I need to get. On the issue of dissolution, on the issue of mainstreaming, on the issue of merging, I would want to get a clarification from the front desk. Yes, Honorable.
But Honorable. Right, Honorable Speaker, before the Minister comes in, Honorable Nsamba is a member of the Budget Committee. He was the member of the Budget Committee.
Not a member of the Budget Committee.
Stop shouting.
Yes. Honorable Nsamba should not mislead the country and this House that UCDA has the sole responsibility of promoting our coffee. When he was a member of the Budget Committee, he himself appropriated money for a private company, 37 billion, to go to that company to go and promote our coffee. Wasn't that a vote of no confidence in UCDA by you, the members of Parliament?
Honorable members. Honorable member. Susan Goretti, sit down. Goretti, sit down. Okay.
Madam Speaker.
Christine.
Madam Speaker, my name has been mentioned.
Christine.
Madam Speaker.
Yes.
Madam Speaker. Honorable Kabanda.
Honorable members, in the public gallery, we have pupils and teachers from St. Kigero Primary School, located in Busiro South, Wakiso. When the speaker is speaking, you keep quiet. I will need a clarification. Honorable Minister, you first sit. I will need a clarification from the chairperson of budget. Honorable members, these members are represented by Honorable Matovu Charles and Honorable Naluima Ethel. You're most welcome. Honorable Minister, I'm going to give you to speak. I am going. Can I hear from the chairman of from budget? Chairman budget. I will give you after budget. Honorable members, free sitting. Honorable members, you will not say no. You did not carry that chair from me.
I thank you, Right Honorable.
Honorable Chair.
Honorable colleagues, I would like us to put records right as we debate. Honorable Kabanda alleges that Budget Committee appropriated 37 billion to a private company. We must make it clear, Budget Committee does not appropriate money. It's a Parliament that appropriates monies. And I therefore ask that statement of Honorable Kabanda be expunged from our records. I beg to move.
But was the money, the Parliament appropriates 37 billion?
Yes, Parliament appropriated the money. Parliament appropriated the money.
Honorable members, listen.
It appropriated money to a private company in order to promote coffee.
Naira bojukira ezo sente Parliament zewayo mbo promotinga coffee zaweebwa Kalugire bazuwa ono mukodomi wa Museveni bebamu bazuwa lwaboogo bazijukira sente zo bazuwa lwaboogo mbwa promoting emmwanyi zaffe omuntu atalima mmwanyi omuwa sente mbwa promoting emmwanyi just atekawo ekisawo omukodomi afune akasente akalabirira muwala we waka. Bino ebintu bya Uganda bya kidongo.
And honorable colleagues, we also like to note that he was a baby of government, and that was in interest of government to promote coffee development. And now the same government has said they have another avenue to promote the same. I beg to move.
Speaker, my name was.
Let me first start out
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker. The money Honorable Kabanda is talking about was given to Edwin and Rabogo to go and establish a coffee factory. Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, please, let's respect our rules.
Owulira bwe batuuka ku nsonga ezesimba baani ababba sente z'omiwoomu Speaker nga baprotectinga sente zaweebwa Lwaboogo ne Kalugire Edwin. Bano bonna bantu ba Museveni ba mu State House wali baana be mbu bagende bapromoting emmwanyi ne bwe baboogerako tebakkirizibwa kwogerwako kati nakyo kino kye baleese bajjawo UCDA nakyo nasanga kiri mu State House nakiweddwa Lwaboogo oba Natasha nga yavunaanyizibwa ku mmwanyi za Uganda nga mukyale bavunaanyizibwa ku byenjigiriza bya Uganda. Anange twajjirwa.
Let's have respect for our rules. You don't speak about people who are not in their house.
Madam Speaker, I was part of the budget committee, Madam Speaker. But that money was passed the 3%.
There's a procedural matter.
3% prior to parliamentary approval. It was not the budget committee.
It was a procedure. There is a procedural matter.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker.
Nakato, why are you people talking like? Are we in a market?
Right, Honorable Speaker, I come from northern Uganda. At a time when the president was addressing the country, when he told the country that something that contributes to the development of the country, number one is coffee. And I didn't understand the importance. And of recent, we have done our best to make sure that in our talk show, in our community mobilization, we are mobilizing our people to plant coffee. And I must tell you, I am happy and excited when I see the pressure in the House when it comes to a situation that is touching coffee in the country. And therefore, I know I have been interacting with many members of Parliament who come from areas where coffee growing is. And it looks like we are under pressure from the voters who are saying, protect areas where we are money, and they think there is something going wrong when coffee is touched. Right, Honorable Speaker, something which is very important in this world is what we call change. And when change is coming,
let's give each person time to speak.
And when
listen.
change is coming, people will always be threatened. They don't know exactly what will happen after the change. Whether it is going to change, whether it's going to be a negative change, they will not understand it at all. I know a situation where we were also informed, for us we don't sit in the caucus. The same environment we are facing now is also what was going on in the caucus meetings. And therefore that shows to you something has not been done right still. If this is something that is really bothering us, why don't we get a proper way to make sure people understand this situation well? And that's why I like the question you asked. And I wish we give time with soberness so that and we understand whether this authority will be dissolved, and if it is going to be dissolved, personally I will not support it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mapenduchi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to believe that you decide to create an entity, you create with specific targets and intentions. And time and again you have to review or assess whether that entity is performing to your expectation. It is a fact that government created this entity. And it is the responsibility of government to assess and determine whether the entity is performing to its expectation. It is also the mandate of the same government to determine whether there is need to create a new direction. I think the intention of the merger is probably to create an effective strategy in as far as the promotion of coffee is concerned. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, the committee painted a picture yesterday. The committee painted a beautiful picture yesterday in as far as the work of Coffee Development Authority is concerned. But I want to say this. I think we should also recognize the fact that there are parts of the country that would have done much better in coffee if the authority attention, and that is northern Uganda. I think as we plan to rationalize, government needs to put very particular interest in ensuring that the things that government did not do in promoting coffee development in northern Uganda needs to be taken more seriously. I support that the merger goes on. Thank you.
Joan.
Honorable Speaker. Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, UCD to promote and to oversee.
Clarification, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, the members of Parliament are discussing a merger. This is not a merger. What the Honorable Mapendus is talking about, it is none of what we are discussing. This is not a merger. Let the minister explain so that people understand.
But
there is no merger here.
You are the same people who don't to stand.
No, but they are talking about a merger.
Honorable Minister, just a minute. Honorable Minister, I want you to discuss, to tell us about the rationalization, accreditation, about the capacity of Minister of Agriculture, the dissolution, the merger, and the mainstreaming.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
And then are we abolishing, dissolving, or not?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would request that we listen to each other so that we take informed decisions. First of all, the observation I want to make is that the committee ignored the submission of government and the intentions and of rationalization and adopted the report of dissenting views of the staff who are going to be rationalized. Two, I want to make a clarification that we don't to abolish the functions of UCDA. We are actually maintaining the functions of UCDA, but in a streamlined manner in a department like we have done for any other agency. We are also, government also, the intentions.
You made your submission. Sit.
You see, this is a problem. We also we don't intend to lay off matter specialists, those who are competent, that are doing regulatory roles of UCDA as mandated by government. We are on duplicated staff like procurement. We are taking off the board. And it is the view of government that this money should be saved, put into service delivery of the citizens. Right Honorable Speaker.
Let him finish, then you will ask for clarification.
People raise the issue.
Let him finish.
Of accreditation. Government has designated authority to UCDA to represent us wherever they have been representing us. The same government is going to designate to represent us. We don't want to adulterate the functions of UCDA and the laws. The same department will implement these laws. Now, people who have fears that the absence of UCDA will undermine coffee production, you must be mindful of our history that when we had the coffee boom during Amin's time, UCDA was not there. Let's listen. Order.
Members, let's listen.
Now,
members, let's listen.
There are fears of members about people who are going to lose jobs.
Honorable Nashua, Indiwalana.
Nobody.
Are you looking after chaos by standing when somebody is speaking?
No employee of UCDA whose competence is required in regulation is going to be laid off. The truth of the matter is that the agencies are with fat salaries. Well,
Honorable members,
how will allow me to finish, Honorable Seungu? Let me finish.
Let him finish, then
now,
you will raise.
Their own contracts. These contracts are not going to be terminated. But when the contracts end, they will be subjected to the structure of public services, which was approved by this Parliament of the scientists. So, the issue of accreditation. UCDA is not any international organization, and anybody who wants to say should come and meet that organization. You must also recall that when UCDA took a decision to withdraw from ICO without the consultation of government and parliament, you are blaming them here. Therefore, the same government is saying we want to streamline the operations of government. Like with other regulatory bodies of government like DDA, UCDA follow suit. Now, one minority report member mentioned something, and I'm very surprised that you did not pick it. Internationally, if we have to trade, we have to make sure that our, especially food, whatever we do, conform to national standards. The government process of creating a food and agriculture authority. First, listen.
Honorable members.
Please listen.
Honorable members, respect what the minister. Listen to the minister.
Now, currently, these products are being regulated by National Drug Authority. Government, in its wisdom, has realized that we have to separate these from medical inputs. But listen.
Now, Minister. Honorable members, listen. Let's have an art of listening to each other. And say the minister and this. You first listen to him, and that will form your debate. Honorable Minister.
Now, we'll take on the regulatory functions of all foodstuffs, including cocoa, including tea. Now, those who are pushing for the authority, shall we have the authority for cassava, authority for banana, authority for beans, authority for maize? Madam Speaker, let's be sober.
Honorable members, proceed.
Right Honorable Speaker, one member, and
Thank you so much.
yesterday
Right Honorable Speaker.
the leader of opposition and other members, the transition of 3 years.
Thank
Right
you so much,
Honorable
Right Honorable
Speaker, because of
Switch on.
the heat that has been associated with the UCDA rationalization, government in its wisdom has given 3 years for a transition. Right Honorable Speaker, this will give time for people to understand that the same government that has promoted the coffee, the same government that has created the Coffee Development Authority, is the same government that wants to empower farmers to earn more. Yes. Right Honorable Speaker mentioned that when
Flavia, I'll give you. You see.
when it is not broken, why do you fix it? Right now, we are looking at efficiency in our production services. When people are talking of energy saving equipment, when people are transforming automobiles into electricity, you cannot say I maintain a diesel engine because it is working. It is spending much money. This is the spirit of government. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
Order.
The authorized agency.
Can I have order?
The authorized agency now we are talking about, it derives the same authority from the government. And I want to say, Right Honorable Speaker,
Give you to
that
debate.
Minister of
I'm going to
Agriculture
give you to debate.
is not in intensive care unit. If it was in intensive care unit, it will not produce children.
As
Right
an
Honorable Speaker,
answer, I will send you
I
out.
request members to
I will send
understand
you
the
out.
spirit of. Just listen. We have made a submission to this House, and the spirit of government is to operate efficiently and deliver services to the best of its capacity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. You have given me. Thank you.
Honorable.
Right Honorable Speaker, the role of UCDA is to promote and oversee coffee. For 30 years, CDA has done this excellently, but in very selected regions of this nation. Now, have just woken up to coffee when it was, excuse me, can I have my privilege as a member of Parliament? Madam Speaker,
Honorable members. Honorable.
find the 7 enterprises that are lucrative, and coffee is at the top of those enterprises. But for 30 years, and number 2, I beg for my privilege as a member of Parliament to speak. I beg for my privilege as a member of Parliament to speak in this House.
Honorable members, can you kindly keep quiet?
Right Honorable Speaker, when Ministry of Agriculture...
Just a minute, just a minute. Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, I want you to listen. Can you... If you don't keep quiet, I will not give anybody to speak. Honorable members, I
This is our livelihood. What about us?
I know people. Now I am going to get people who are clear-headed. Dr. Baiga. Baiga, Hajat, Honorable Lubega. Dr. Baiga.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dr. Baiga.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Can you people listen?
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm asking for the attention. Let me speak.
Doctor, you
Under these circumstances, Right Honorable Speaker, I beg you to take control of your house.
Alan. Alan. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Dr. Baiga.
No, please, we are not mad people here.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Doctor.
Honorable members,
Madam Speaker,
we have
telling
heard.
you why I was standing up.
I have
I'm a very clear-headed person. So using only clear-headed.
Dr. Baiga.
Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you. I listened
Honorable
very
members,
attentively.
listen to Dr. Baiga.
I listened very attentively to Honorable Bright Rwamirama, and I felt he was misleading this House. The law is clear, in black and white. It is seeking to abolish, to dissolve UCDA. You may talk about the functions. You may talk about being mainstreamed. But these functions are carried with them by UCDA. And UCDA entity, an accredited entity with 23 years of experience, gathered technical expertise, and you have not guided that Uganda is going to lose that accreditation. And it takes a long time to get it. As the office bearer, you should have guided this House that once this accreditation is lost, Right Honorable Speaker, it is going to take us very long time, and we shall have lost the market. And once we lose the market, the livelihood of our people is affected, and very negatively. He's not telling us that.
Honorable,
And I can see.
Honorable, we are talking about accreditation. That should be answered. And then the functional mainstreaming. Yes.
Accreditation takes long time and he knows it. It takes 5 years to 10 years. But once our competitors realize that we have abolished the agency that was taking over this role, they will rejoice because they will definitely take over the markets. And how are you going to be happy when crying? I can see several members of parliament being organized to mob.
Honorable Aisha, Honorable Lumo.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker. I am Aisha, not you.
Privilege. On my right of privilege.
Just a minute. Jane, just hold.
Allow me respond to two issues. Number one.
Honorable members, listen to Aisha.
Thank you. Right. It is not the fault of UCDA that Northern region has not been major growing coffee for different regions. And Uganda government allocated Northern region for cotton. Therefore, it was not UCDA, and we must not blame UCDA for that. Number two, Right Honourable Speaker, edge of taking UCDA. Madam Speaker, let me mention this.
Clarification, Madam Speaker.
Can you be patient? Could you have a pen and paper and write?
Clarification.
Honorable Minister,
Would
you will clarify.
you have
You will clarify.
a pen and paper and write? I want to inform First Honorable Bright that I was an NRM cadre that explained these policies on radio, therefore I know them very well. What you did, I was explaining. And you designated products for participants. If the administrator desired that UCDA extends coffee, UCDA should have done as such. It was the ministry that desired that North should not grow coffee. At the time when we did it, that coffee goes across, they have started extending coffee all over. Having said that, no, Honorable Speaker, I was interrupted. I was saying that it is not the privilege of government executive to take away everything they establish as they desire. When you create entities, they are not for you. They're for the nationals. If the people have said, yes, you created it and we want it, it's not upon you to take it the way you desire because we now want it. Mr. Speaker, I ably listened to the chairperson of the committee yesterday, answering all the defects in the law. The defects in the law in the harmony. And the question was, some entities were being deprecative. Her answers were all in. Asked, is UCDA being duplicative? She said no. Is UCDA destroying the harmony? She said no. Is UCDA being wasteful? She said no. She credited UCDA for being very good. And finally, and that's when I wondered what happened to the well-able chairperson, what happened to her. And we are here as Parliament to speak, to conclude the way she desired. She made the right submission but feared to make the right conclusion. The right conclusion is to say that UCDA must stay. It performed excellently. It is not wasteful. It is not duplicative. It must stay for the good of the people. I submit, Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable members.
Thank you.
Honorable Lumo, Honorable Medad.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Right
Honourable Speaker, I have clearly heard from the Minister, and I am surprised that the Minister did not quote from his bill, which is presenting to Parliament. I'll read section 3 of the bill. The National Coffee Act 2021 is 2A. Mainstream the functions of the Coffee Development Authority into the ministry responsible for agriculture. What is interesting is in B. Abolish the Coffee Development Authority and transfer the functions of the Coffee Development Authority to the ministry responsible for agriculture. Madam Speaker, what is annoying is in 4. In 4, they say dissolution of Coffee Development Authority. On the commencement of this act, the Coffee Development Authority established by Act 17 dissolved. I wonder how the contracts the minister has been talking about will be alive when the UCDA is completely dissolved. I have been with a lot of restaurants and I don't know why you want to dissolve them from me. If the UCDA is not existing, then the contracts are as well dead. I want to submit briefly on the chairperson of the committee. Madam Speaker, I looked at the demeanor of the chairperson of the committee.
This guy's a report.
Yes, Madam Speaker, what she submitted in the report and the Parliament carries it the way it is. And I want to suggest that the conclusion of the minority report should now be the conclusion of the majority, and then we carry that one. Other than that, the chairperson of the committee stands a bad record for having very good information and then pours bad water on it. The resolutions they made in the committee and the conclusion are completely different. I want, Madam Speaker, to say this. My people I represent in Mityana are the best coffee growers in Mityana district. And as I am talking now, they are sitting on the roads to see what this parliament is going to resolve on the UCDA. Madam Speaker, I want to urge this house, and I want to pray before this house, at least consider UCDA to survive for the good and livelihood of the people in Uganda, including those ones who are growing coffee for the first time. Like my colleague here has suggested, that people in the north are now growing, they have woken up to grow coffee. Now if they have woken up, let us put more money in UCDA. They go to the north and teach them the best practices of growing coffee, and they get the money that they need to get. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, in the public gallery this afternoon, we have pupils and teachers from Frana Kindergarten Primary School. It is located in Nansana Municipality, the district. They are represented by Honorable Wakaima, Annington Insereko, and Honorable Naluima Ethel. Also in the public gallery this afternoon, we have students, teachers from Ombogo College School, located in Kawempe district. They are represented by Honorable Segrinya Mohammed and Honorable Shamim. Honorable members, Honorable Medad.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. First, for encouraging members to listen to each other. Number one, Right Honorable Speaker, there is something called mischief. I was when we established these agencies, and the reason given by the government was that we were establishing strategic agencies to propel the development of this country. After painful listening to my brother, the Honorable Rwamirama, who I will not refer to as bright today, I heard him say that the mischief was about the fat salaries. If it were about the fat salaries and humongous budgets, then before we rationalize UCDA and these agencies, we should start with those that created these humongous expenditures. Indeed, if we are to rationalize on a rational basis, we should start with rationalizing the Ministry of Agriculture. We gave them district farm institutes. Where are they? We gave them farms in Buyikwe. Where is the farm in Buyikwe? Extension farmers, where are they? So if we are to deal with redundant expenditure, we give them ranches. Where are they? We should start with the rationalization of this ministry itself and not entrust this ministry with functions of an entity that has been the brightest star in the country. Right Honorable Speaker, we were informed by the majority report yesterday, and I want to thank my sister, the chairperson, that coffee has been accounting for 55% of the agricultural exports. Why don't we want to spend on entities and areas which give us money? The reason we maintain agencies like URA, Investment Authority, is because they are strategic. Do you want to tell me that a blameless entity called UCDA, which has promoted coffee after the destruction and death of Coffee Marketing Board, should be sacrificed because some people are not doing their work? Can we talk about expenditure in a government, in a parliament, for strategic reasons that gives money to a private company, and then we say we cannot give money to an agency? We were informed yesterday, Right Honorable Speaker, that this authority is going to be absorbed in the ministry, and I want to ask, at what level? As a directorate? As a department? As a unit? Since when? If we are to do this, we get things like KCCA, Investment Authority, URA, and put them back to the mother ministries. Because, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, there are people who are deeply concerned in this country. Why haven't we consulted the farmers, the coffee farmers, the cotton farmers, and all the other core stakeholders? I want to conclude by saying, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the destruction of a country begins with this, and we want to kill them. One will ask, what did Ugandans do to us to deserve the punishment of destroying the small veins that continue to feed them? Maybe you could tell us how much UCDA is consuming from your treasury. We would mobilize cooperatives and associations, coffee associations in this country, to foot that bill.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to appreciate the chairperson's report because it had the actual points that we are looking for. It painted a very good picture, the reality of UCDA in this country. And that is exactly what we needed, except that she had a terrible ending. Right Honorable Speaker, some analogies have been made in this House with regards to coffee. There was with regards to rationalizing of mothers crying more, caring for more than the mothers. Then there was an analogy, and it was stepmothers. Asking myself, if we are now using the language of analogies, then why are we letting the mother? Why are we sacrificing the baby to a slaughterhouse of a mother? Why is the mother eating the baby? Because first of all, UCDA is doing very well. Now we want to slaughter it by sending it to a slaughterhouse of a mother who is going to end up eating it, engulfing it totally, so that we have nothing. My point coming to is, Madam Speaker, there was an argument of inefficiency of the DDA, of the cotton authority, and that is why we are saying that they need to be merged with MAIF. In this case, UCDA has shown all the right characters of efficiency, and we are still clamping it down with the ones that we are allotted inefficient. Why are we still using the same argument? If UCDA is proceeding well, why do we need to rationalize it? Secondly, there is also the last one, Madam, one is, MAIF has been given so many agencies under its care. Already MAIF is overburdened and has characters of characteristic, stand alone on its own, working alone, then we are going to end up killing UCDA, because all these people will create inefficiencies, all these people will create
Kaviye, Frank.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when I heard the report of the chairperson of the committee, I was so impressed that at least we are receiving something that is addressing the concern and that is speaking to something or a product that has supported more than millions of families in our country, and something that has contributed to the national treasury. So when I heard the report from the chairperson, I was so impressed. But on reaching to the conclusion, there I wondered if really the chairperson was still independent of the concerns and the observations of the committee, or they were working under influence of an invisible hand. Madam Speaker, many people have come out to speak about coffee, and we have a lot of pain, not that we don't want to see government being responsible in the people, but because we know the impact UCDA has done to the coffee industry in our country. Right now, on farm and off farm, UCD is having tangible feel. People feel it because it has helped our people to see and realize enough revenues and to get enough profits. And we are seeing coffee development in our country taking the lead. So, Madam Speaker, I therefore move to be part and associate minority report to see that this parliament stands independent, so that we don't bring in the resolutions of cabinet, because I've seen
Honorable Chivumbi, Chair Caucus, and Chair of Park Central.
Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker, let me start from the known knowns.
Honorable, all of you, I will pick you when I know I want you to speak.
Right Honorable Speaker.
All of you standing up, I will pick you. You're all going to speak. Fortunate will speak.
Right Honorable Speaker, let's start from the known knowns. The known knowns is that the
members listen to Honorable Chivumbi.
Right Honorable Speaker, the known is that the Ministry of Agriculture as of now does not have the capability and capacity to take on the roles and functions of UCDA. That's a known. The second known, and it's factual, is that the Minister of Agriculture has just told you that they are in the process of omnibus authority that will take up all these other crops. That is tea and whatever, and that authority is underway. Right on, that's also a known fact the Minister has put up. The other known fact is what all of us have said. And let me urge members here. An attempt to localize coffee will be a misnomer. Coffee right now is the national product. It is grown across all regions of the country. Like banana. For at one time, Uganda was the biggest grower of banana. Today, Uganda imports banana from Western Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, therefore, our bone of contention, Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister has not answered the question, what's the best practices all over the world? The best practice all over the world, that special crops like a coffee is grown through agencies as a vehicle. Ethiopia has it, Brazil has it, Vietnam has it, Kenya has it. What we are doing today, wise people in Ethiopia try to do it. Wise people in Kenya try to do it. 3 years down the road, they had abandoned and they are going back. Now the law, let me go to the gist. The law seeks to dissolve. The minister here is putting an argument of a transition of 3 years, contingent upon government attaining some other capacities. Now, after killing UCDA today, when 3 years down the road, that capacity is found wanting, will you resurrect it? Will you resurrect it? Having killed it? Therefore, let us think full square. And next, that's why, Right Honorable Speaker, our position is very simple. That you don't need even the 3 years. Government can even come here tomorrow. If the capacity to assure quality, to market our coffee, and in a sustainable level is attained by MAIF, come here with the law, there will be parliament, we will pass it instant. Yes. Our question, Right Honorable Minister, the other day I put up a notion of legislating in anticipation. We are legislating that someday that ministry that has demonstrated incapacities, and I had a great care because I've just audited that ministry. It doesn't score any plus on any parameter. It is in the minus, from goat rollover, from tractors, from acre sites, from everything. I want to put the minister. The Minister of Agriculture is doing well. Let him stand here and tell us one crop which they have done so well, to give us a basis of confidence that they are up to anything. They don't have it. They've killed tea on their watch. They've killed vanilla on their watch. They've killed all other things. Even fish, which is inherent in the lake. Government had to institute a military to go in and intervene. This is an entity that is not ready today. Let us not create anxiety. Good business is about predictability and durability. Let us not slaughter an animal that is giving Uganda $1.4 billion as of today. It's a gold mine for this country.
Namuga.
I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to speak after my chair. Honorable colleagues, we are here because we all love our country. And this is what we call home. It's not about regions. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the House and also encourage them to keep being objective when we're deliberating on some of these matters. Honorable Bright Ramirama, the Minister, as of now, Right Honorable Speaker, I want this House, before even you debate the report for coffee, interest yourself in the Auditor General's report on agriculture for the financial 22-23. Right Honorable Speaker, good enough I came with it. Speaker, we had a scenario where, Right Honorable Speaker, we had...
Honorable members, I have said...
Right Honorable Speaker, my sizement, Honorable Ogwan, to respect the fellow member. Yes, because in any case they will tell you to stand up. No, that's it.
But
Madam Speaker, all the time. Madam Speaker.
Honorable members.
You are short.
Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Can I have order? Can I? Namuga is right. Let's decide.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for protecting, and we must appreciate nature. Right Honorable Speaker, we are looking at two things objectively. For me, I'm looking at the performance of an entity as of now that intends to take over responsibility of an authority. Right, Honorable Speaker, all of you colleagues remember the issue of the foot and mouth disease. This is the same ministry that failed to manage that disaster when it happened. They were given money, failed to procure the vaccines, and we had over a million dose vaccines that expired within the stores. They expired. Yes. Two, they bought goats we bought goats and all of them died. Yes, we bought.
Thank you. Evans.
Have any more authority to take over UCDA because you can't manage it.
Evans, Kanyike. Tamaguzi. Tamaguzi Mukatuliki.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
Members, let's speak faster. So many people want to speak.
Yes. Right Honorable Speaker, according to the 3 reports which were read yesterday here from the chairperson of the committee and the 2 minority reports, they stipulated very clearly that UCDA should not go to the Ministry of Agriculture. I listened very clearly. I know Honorable Linda is my good friend. Let me hope that you are not intimidated. Let me hope that you are not intimidated, because the way you presented the report, it was a good. When you concluded, it looked like
you make your submission.
Right Honorable Speaker, according to the reports which were presented here yesterday, it clearly stipulates that UCDA should not go to the ministry.
Thank you. Lutamaguzi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, when you had just become a Speaker of this august House, you say to the public that this is a people-centered parliament.
Don't put me into
I withdraw, Right Honorable
your
Speaker.
submission.
I withdraw,
put
Right
me.
Honorable Speaker.
No. Go straight to the bill.
Yes,
the coffee.
Right Honorable Speaker, being a coffee farmer, following. In the history we have ever had coffee marketing board. It went. We had the cooperatives. They went. There is no way you can cut a hand that feeds you, honorable ministers here. The economy you are talking about today is boosted by UCDA. One of the sectors that boosts this economy is UCDA. Unless they are behind. I had the report which was read by the chair. It was very clear apart from the conclusion. So therefore, being a member, Right Honorable Speaker, a coffee farmer, and a defender down there in the villages of Nakaseka and across the country, including you, the Speaker, because in the beginning you told us you are also a coffee farmer. We are saying no to rationalization. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Alan.
Speaker, for the
Seungu first, then Alan. Seungu first, then Alan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, one of the most bright people in the army during that time is Honorable Bright. And if he takes history of massacre, when they come, one of the resources they used to win the war was coffee. You took coffee, signatures made by General, the late Minister, rest in peace, land vehicles. That was coffee marketing board. Later on, you killed the coffee after taking government. And people have fought their battle. You know where? People have. Why? Why do you fear people having money? statistics in our constituencies show that because of coffee and UCDA giving them seedlings, people have got money. They are paying fees for their children. They are taking them to St. Mary's College. They are even paying money in government USE schools where they are not giving enough funds. But here you are trying to bring a penalty by meandering back to the system. Kindly, Honorable Bright Rambirama, go to Isinjiro, where you come from. You know that bananas being grown there. Were they there at that time? What have you done to horticulture? Obote.
Right Honorable Speaker, I come from Kasambia, and I want to make some clarification. Honorable Sewungu and all the other colleagues that mentioned that UCDA gives coffee seedlings. UCDA has never given any coffee seedling in my constituency. It is Operation Wealth Creation that has been giving city coffee seedlings in the constituency. Not UCDA. Second, Right Honorable Speaker, the information I want to give you. Yes, the information I want to give you.
Yes, you give the information. Give the information.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. UCDA that these people are talking about has never even sent any staff in my constituency to know how many coffee farmers that are in my constituency. If your mother ministry says you, therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, the information I wanted to give him and the clarification is that UCDA has never given any coffee seedling people, not even to any person can even confess.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You see, Madam Speaker, there are members, sometimes we give time to talk, and wasting time with Honorable Kabanda is really a wastage of time. Because if you are a member of Parliament and you are not aware of what is doing,
tell us what you're saying.
Madam Speaker, I have to care because he was giving information.
You
and
continue.
He needs more time to be educated about constituency and UCDA. But however, continue with your spirit as you are taking it to yourself. The boomerang will be on you. The boomerang is on you. But UCDA has been giving us seedlings from Ngabirano. Ngabirano, they now the one who took over, they have been doing that role. Even quality assurance alone. When you talk about Kasambia that does not have quality assurance about
Thank you.
Who are you presenting in this house?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Madam Speaker, I listened very well to the Minister. He was suggesting a transition. Yes. And Honorable Bendi Wanika came in and gave in a transition of 5 years. Madam Speaker, they are not giving us a... And some people are suggesting 10 years. Others are suggesting 20 years.
Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister. This young man here has a future. The young boy is asking you, what is the justification of the 3 years? No, the young MP is very brilliant. That is a very good question.
Madam Speaker,
no, you'll come, Honorable Minister. You take note.
Yes.
He has a very pertinent question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Minister is not giving us a justification. And even Honorable Bendi Bwanika failed. Therefore, Madam Speaker, why are we calculating in anticipation? Why don't you wait until the 3 years elapses, or even 10, or even 5?
So you agree that we give the 3 years to elapse, then we legislate?
Madam Speaker, I'm recommending. I'm recommending.
You're recommending?
I'm recommending like this. I'm recommending finally.
we are not allowed to legislate in anticipation. Therefore, I recommend we maintain the status quo and we don't rationalize UCDA. Thank you.
Derek.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues are here arguing that I'm not a farmer, but I have farmers, and I'm a businessman.
Honorable members, Derek's voters are farmers. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And they are into business of coffee. They buy coffee, and I want to talk as a businessman.
They should even see your size.
Yes.
Yes.
They are into business. This is government in business. And we have been accredited to do business and given the license. And today we are opting for something to clear an agency that has been accredited to opt for 5 years or 10 years without getting a license to operate, which is going to be a loss to the nation, to the farmers, and it is also going to put us in a situation.
I want you to address this issue that Derek is raising very clearly. No, don't go. You people, what Derek is raising is very, very pertinent on the issue of accreditation. So we need that brought out very clearly. Yes, you continue.
Madam Speaker, if only the Minister could address on that and give us assurance, we do believe, yes, I submit.
Thank you. Brenda.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for this opportunity. First of all, I want to respond to what the Minister said, that actually they have so many bodies doing the same work like the ministry. Right Honourable Speaker, I come from a family that has been growing coffee for a long time, from my great-grandparents to my grandparents to my parents. So I know when coffee is thriving, I know when the prices are low, I know when they're affected, and I think I'll give you advice that in the 60s, our parents managed to go to good schools because coffee was thriving. In the 80s, it went down. People used to market coffee using cooperatives, and then when they were abolished, removed, they failed. Coffee went down. The prices went low. It is only this time. For the coffee farmers, they usually sell coffee in tins, and that tin now costs 40,000. It has never happened before. It's because UCDA has been doing good. They have been making sure that we store. They look for markets. They improve on our.
Your bill is coming.
The way coffee is being handled.
The minister is here.
Honorable Ramilama, I need to inform you that a decision to abolish UCDA is going to cost your government a lot. Because our farmers are saying, regardless of the toughness of UCDA, we still want it to exist because we are seeing good results. Please don't trade this way. Otherwise, you're going to pay for this. Because our coffee farmers, as the coffee farmers, we are saying we must.
Fortunate, Madam Teacher.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. I would like to
Moses, I'll come to you.
The reports of both the majority in terms of the body and not the conclusion, and the minority report, the one given by our shadow minister. Right Honourable Speaker, the minister has indicated the point of rationalization was doing away with agencies that are milking our economy. We've seen that this UCDA, just in the last financial year, brought in an income of over 82.25 billion. Yet its budget was 0.76 billion. This indicates that with actually time, UCDA is going to become self-funding. Right Honourable Speaker, Our people are saying no to rationalizing UCDA. If it is really brought in good faith, why not wait for the 3 years to expire? You sort your issues in order, then come back to this house. Those who will be here then will be able to pass this bill. Otherwise, Right Honorable Speaker, I submit on behalf of the people of Chotera, no rationalizing UCDA, putting it in my ear. Thank you.
Robert.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, on the issue of coffee, we are on the issue of life and death. In that, even a layman down there, many of our boys and girls.
After Robert, you go to Kabusu Moses. Moses, don't be distracted. Moses, you're being distracted. Then Juliet.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Most of our Ugandan boys and girls are going abroad to be slaves, but those who have managed to be here, the coffee, they are doing well. That is agriculture. We used to study in SST. The major economic activity in Uganda is farming. And the main economic activity through the cash crop you are in for was coffee and cotton. That's why you had the gineries around. We had the coffee factories around. Now by this regime you have nothing. And the Rito which is struggling to survive, they are running for it. There is a term in Uganda used which I will not use. And that very term, you find someone who just come for something which is on top, you pick that one. Instead of helping it to go up. In that perspective, Honorable Speaker, I will challenge Minister of Agriculture. Your research desk is so weak to the extent that even you wish to sell the land of research centers. The narrows are they are nowhere to be seen. The coffee wilt has been disorganizing our farmers. You have never come to rescue. But now you are coming for profits, which Ugandans have struggled to maintain and have. Shame.
Moses.
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, I bring you greetings from
the islands.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in May 2023, I'll be brief, the President commissioned 52 billion shillings. President Museveni, Honorable Katumba, you remember, in Kalangala. And it was for oil palm growing in Kalangala. Madam Speaker, ever since then, Ministry of Agriculture has never, in Chamuswa, has never even organized a single meeting with the farmers, even with the 52 billion shillings. The questions my farmers in Kalangala who are in coffee growing have with the capacity and the competence of the Ministry of Agriculture, okay, the capacity of the Ministry of Agriculture to have coffee that was growing on by its own are many. Madam Speaker, my farmers suggested that I bring you their opinion that coffee should be left the way it has been managed.
But you bring it to the house, not to me, Anita Mon.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, thank you.
Madam Speaker, I dressed like this humble. When a Muganda dresses like this, it's not for war, but to communicate that let this matter be handled with the dignity it has had, and let it be vulgarized. Coffee should be left the way it has been, and farmers should benefit from it and not be killed like other institutions have been killed under the ministry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lutaya.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I have heard from the Minister, Honorable Bright Ramila. But I'm wondering, Honorable Minister, why you people preach patriotism, yet you are not patriotic. You pretend like serving good food, yet you know very well that you have poison in that food. You know the curse you are creating for your family. You know what coffee means to most of our families. Why are you serving one person instead of the whole country? You mean you don't know? You mean you don't know what you are doing? We know that you are serving poison, pretending that you are giving us good food. I strongly deviate from what you bring to this house. I beg to submit.
Thank you.
Honorable Juliet.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity.
Juliet.
I not only farmers, but I myself am also a farmer. Moreover, it collaborated when it came to the contributions of agencies. Right Honorable Speaker, this institution, Parliament, is very good at backbenching. When you go for backbenching, we not only look at the benchmarking, we not only cater for the strong areas, but also areas of weaknesses. Right Honorable Speaker, the reports were all clear that countries which are doing well as far as coffee is concerned, they all do it not through their respective ministries, but under agencies. The reports also showed that the countries that have decided to rationalize, they've ended up backsliding. So, Right Honorable Speaker, we should always learn from even the mistakes of others.
Yes, Fred.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, yesterday,
You'll speak.
when I was listening to the report,
You mean Alan has not spoken? Okay, Fred, then Alan.
Madam Speaker, when I was listening to the report of the committee being presented by the able chairperson, I looked at the observations, then I smiled. I knew that is the daughter of a historical to this country. Madam Speaker, when it came to the conclusion, I got lost whose daughter made the conclusion. Madam Speaker, she made it very clear that the reason behind RAPEX was to eliminate those agents who were parasiting on the treasury of this country. That was very... She made it clear to this house that UCD is a parasite to this country. She made it very clear. That's why I saluted her. Madam Speaker, we are talking about the livelihood of people. My grandmother is watching this debate. She brought by this ministry.
You still have a grandmother?
Yes, she's there. She's watching. She tried Moringa under the ministry. It failed. She tried Caterpillar ministry. It failed. She tried Aloe Vera Chigaji under the ministry. It failed. Now the coffee
Isaiah
under the watchful hand of the ministry. Madam Speaker, we said no to UCD and we're not taking our coffee. Thank you very much.
Alan, Isaiah, Kirabo, Mariamo, Mama Mbale. I
Thank
am
you,
coming
Madam
down.
Speaker.
What is the problem?
Thank you, Madam, for giving me way. Madam, I'm not talking as a coffee farmer, but I'm talking as a coffee consumer who represents coffee consumers of Makindye and Kampala at large and some other areas. As a coffee consumer, I'm now much worried about the quality of coffee which will be supplied to us in the market. Because UCDA has been ensuring quality coffee in the market in Uganda and outside Uganda. So if it is taken to the Agriculture Ministry, we are very worried as consumers that our much favored coffee will not be favored in the whole market because of the lackluster way of the ministry, the way they do things, not concentrating on that type of quality of the bean of coffee. So, Madam Speaker, that's why I'm not supporting the rationalization of our Uganda coffee development reduced under the supervision of the Agriculture Ministry. I beg to move, Madam Speaker.
Isaiah Kirabo.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker.
Koluo, you don't know about coffee. Koluo.
Right Honourable Speaker, I am a coffee farmer. I'm a chairperson of a primary society. I am a board member to the Bugisu Cooperative Union.
I know what I am saying.
And quite often, I've been coming to office, Madam Speaker, getting permission.
And bringing me coffee.
Yes, to leave this parliament, and I represent farmers of Bugisu in the international market. Even 2 days back, I've just come from Tocho, Madam Speaker. But when you go to the international market, Madam Speaker, it's not about the quantity of coffee you have. It's about the quality of coffee. And the quality of coffee always has a regulator. Quality of coffee starts from the nursery bed, where it is grown, where it is raised, up to the harvesting, up to the processing, up to the exporting. There be an authority for that matter to ensure the control and of quality of the coffee as it starts from the nursery bed. Madam members, if you go to the statistics of coffee export and you go to the international market, Uganda is doing very well. Initially, we could have a few bags of coffee export, but by God's grace, coffee is all over the whole of Uganda. You go to Eastern Uganda, massively they have planted. You go to Northern, they have started. Uganda needs UCDA today than even before, because we need that regulator to ensure the quality supply of coffee.
There is information from another coffee grower.
I'll take it with your permission, if my time will not.
Thank you so much for giving in. Madam Speaker, I'm a serious coffee farmer, and I worked in the coffee sector for 7 years. The information I want to give is about coffee. Coffee is a very delicate crop, that the regulation starts from planting materials up to the cup. Now, I want you to imagine what would motivate this coffee specialist who has been with a big experience, earning 12 million, agreeing to go for 1,900,000 in government of Uganda and continue to earn that and doesn't compromise the quality of coffee. Madam Speaker, I'm not objecting or not opposed to the government policy of rationalization. But what I want to warn is that government should consider that the moment somebody is motivated to go for 900,000 when he has been earning 12 million as a senior officer, it will either bring corruption or neglect of work. Therefore, the ministry should know that we either maintain the salary structure of these people to maintain their expertise. Otherwise, we shall lose the quality of coffee by negligence and by corruption. I thank you for information.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the information.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, as I conclude. Madam Speaker, as I conclude.
Yes.
From areas we have moved, you'll always see an official from the export board of that country working together with the Minister of Agriculture and working together with the agency like UCDA to work hand in hand. If UCDA had maybe some inadequacies or some challenges, I believe if they had so, what could be better is to work on the challenges UCDA has. But most of them, you'll discover that from limited funding, government gives it. Because some of those exports, they don't go. So I could support the minority report on behalf of the people of Budadili East, the people of Sironko, the people of Bugisu as a region. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and for the opportunity, because the youths of Uganda, and most especially those of Luwelo, would feel cheated if you had not given me the opportunity. Madam Speaker, UCDA should remain independent and not be rationalized because of the reasons that Chairperson stated well yesterday in the report.
Like, we all know and notice that it contributes a lot, actually doubles the revenue it sends to the consolidated fund than the budget it is allocated of about 42. So it contributes about 82 billions, which doubles the budget allocated to it. And Madam Speaker and members, there are issues that affect farmers in UCDA. Let's try to work on those issues so that we sustain our farmers, most especially the employed by UCDA, and they are about 12.5 million. So, Right Honourable Speaker, of late, coffee, a kilogram of coffee, 1,000. Because of the quality assurance UCDA has put in place for our people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Right Honourable. I stand here to say that UCDA should remain. It shouldn't be dissolved. I come from a region that I am a coffee farmer myself. 80% of my people, the ones I represent, grow coffee. UCDA has helped and given an enabling environment for the farmers in my district to grow coffee. They have trained them. They have helped them to know how to plant coffee better. They have helped them in harvesting coffee so that when their coffee is sent on the market, it's of good quality. Now, if UCDA is dissolved, we are going to reverse gains. I want to say that I'm siding with the members of Parliament who are saying that UCDA should not be dissolved. Honorable Minister, we are debating here, but we are representing millions of Ugandans who are surviving because of coffee. I grew because of how coffee helped my parents to pay for me school fees. There are many children out there who are surviving because of coffee. Coffee Development Authority should not be dissolved.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank the chairperson for the report. The report clearly gave the role of UDCA, among which was that market standards are fulfilled. It also said it provides timely prices on a daily basis. Right Honourable Speaker, if at all, the chairperson also indicated that when UDCA has no conflicting roles with MAIF. Now, if at all she gave all those good compliments to UDCA, UCDA, then why did the conclusion become the way it came? Right Honourable Speaker, Bugisu, if you remove UDCA, it's like you are draining the blood of the whole of Bugisu because they depend on coffee. I rightly want to side with the minority report which says that UDCA should remain because it has done a great thing to see that the livelihood of Ugandans, especially in Bugisu, depends on it. I want to thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I have followed the report plus all its recommendations. But because we work for people, yesterday I was in Busiro and we actually unanimously rejected Parliament to grant government permission to rationalize or merge this
of people coming on my door asking for school fees has declined. So, I'm a medical person, and you can only remove an organ from an individual who is in a vegetative state. It's a criminal case if you remove an organ from a person who is functional. So So it means they brought this idea in a bad spirit.
Thank you.
Why do you hate Ugandans?
Joyce.
Thank you, Right Honorable
Sebamala.
Right Honorable Speaker, I heard very well.
Joyce Sebamala Solo.
And the minister was talking about the government wanting to rationalize because the government loves the coffee farmers and wants to support them. And I wanted to tell the Honorable Minister that at the time the bill was returned to Parliament, as members of the Uganda Parliamentary Caucus, we took responsibility to consult people from different areas. We went to Butambala, we went to Mityana, we went to Luwero, we went to Buddu, we went to Buyikwe, and many other parts of the country. And the people that you're talking about, Honorable Minister, those coffee farmers that you're talking about, that you want to help, that you want to support, that you're doing it for them, those coffee farmers are saying they do not want the rationalization. So if you're doing it for Ugandans, the Ugandans are saying, please do not rationalize.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker, I come from Bukoma Nsimbi, a place that leads in coffee farming. And I'm a Muganda who comes from here. Buganda has suffered a lot with the poverty. That's why the Katikiro echoed the Kabaka's voice.
Don't tribalize our coffee.
I'm not tribalizing, but I come from Buganda and I'm a Muganda. So let me speak about the reality. That's why the Katikiro of Buganda echoed Kabaka's voice to grow more coffee. And through a mandate initiative, Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people we represent, we say it's not only improper, but even a crime to rationalize UCDA.
Thank you. Christian. Madam Teacher.
Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you so much. Once again, I would like to put it right that when the minister tells us that removing accreditation from UCDA is as simple as bringing another one. Right Honorable Speaker, accreditation does not base on standards. This accreditation is international, and we cannot say we have control over the rationale or criteria for accreditation. Once it is international, we already worried with the way we bargain which other institution can really play in. Right Honorable Speaker, my attention to the chairperson. Chairperson, of all the people you consulted in your committee, what was the final decision? Did they tell you to rationalize or not? So the committee was supposed to come up with a solution, a conclusion, the submissions of all the people that were consulted. But I'm worried. The biggest percentage says don't rationalize, and the committee conclusion says rationalize. Right Honorable Speaker, killing somebody today and bury that person 3 years after, same you have already killed. So it's better don't kill now, wait for 3 years to kill that person. So this business of let's kill it now, but bury 3 years or 5 years later is not good to us, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I with this one. For those of you who are well aware of enterprise value chains, not everybody has all duties on the entire value chains. They are farmers, they are even drinkers.
Ethel. Hey, Madam Teacher first.
Right, you're right. Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank you. Right Honorable Speaker, 32 years ago, Right Honorable Specioza Kazibwe led this House as the Minister of Agriculture to come up with UCDA. on that day, Parliament have been looking through the answer, Madam Speaker. Parliament unanimously agreed that to allow the coffee growing, marketing, and value addition to thrive, there needed to be a standalone authority to handle this matter. 32 years later, Madam Speaker, UCDA has not let us down. The story has turned from bad, from the coffee wilty disease, to excellency, where we are now among the top 10 in the world as Uganda. Madam Speaker, today if you were to move UCDA to the ministry, who of the two should learn from the other? Because after 32 years without you handling a business, suddenly you come back, and when you read through the proposal to abolish UCDA, you will find that the workers now are going to be spread in different ministries. That means that we are going to lose all this institutional memory. And I don't know why a parent, because even in the act itself, the ministry is given a very big role. I don't know which parent would like her child to go back home after.
Thank you so much.
Buvuma, Dem, Israel, Buvuma, Dem, Nachimoli.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
The other Dem.
Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Wakiso and especially the people of Busiro North that are so much in farming and in coffee, I also stand to support the contents of the majority report, less the conclusion, and also the contents of the minority report. Right Honorable Speaker, not once, not twice, we've put it here, and it was very clear that we are a people-centered parliament. Right Honorable Speaker, let's listen to the voices of Ugandans. We are handling an agency that is that is taking care of 12.5 billion people. And we've seen that this is an agency, unlike others, that could show decrease in, but this one is showing an increase right away from 2013 to 2024 where we are. It is promising. Why are we insisting that still we should take away livelihoods of people? And also, the matter of public servants and the staff is resolved. I'm part of the Public Service and Local Government Committee that is handling this matter of rationalization in general. The question is still, all these Ugandans we want to send away from their workplaces. Where are they going to go? But particularly for coffee, they are the Ugandans that are helping several others to have a livelihood. So I request.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, when you look at both reports, they clearly indicate how much the entity has been generating the revenue for this country, and versus how much it has been given from by the government. Right Honorable Speaker, that clearly indicates that this entity can even meet its own expenditures, including giving good salaries to its employees to motivate them. Right Honorable Speaker, the minister here told us that we should not get worried by dissolving UCDA because they are planning to work on the Food and Nutrition Authority. Right Honorable Speaker, why do we work in this fashion? Why do we lose an entity that has over 23 years of experience, that has regulated the quality of coffee of this, that has experts that have bargained for good prices on the international market? Therefore, I do not accept on rationalization of UCDA
Maif has failed even to bring the fisheries and aquaculture regulations to this parliament, and also the state, the persons.
Madam, when the phone is off, when the microphone is off, it is off.
Thank you very much.
The people of Bovuma have heard.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, with the unemployment challenges Uganda faces, the report clearly brought it out that UCDA has managed to employ 12.5 million people. So we can't stand a chance of taking all these people back to nowhere when we rationalize UCDA. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, I beg that with the report from the major report, we need to double the budget for UCDA. This is the opportunity we have for the good contributions it has done for
Naturally, Dennis, Christine.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Kalangala, proud that you have given me this opportunity. Thank you so much. And I also thank the Almighty God that...
Honorable members, listen to Helen.
I also thank the Almighty God that I am walking again on my 2 feet. Thank you. The sports fraternity, your star is back. Yeah. Madam Speaker, for the record, I want to inform this August House that the coffee in the 70s and 80s that used to come...
Were you born?
At least my grandparents told me so. Yes, my grandparents told me so. Madam Speaker, I was born in the 80s. And I also know exactly what I'm talking about. The coffee that was coming from the Sese Islands, you know, the aroma in the coffee from Uganda that goes out of the country, that aroma comes from the Sese Islands, just so you know. Yes.
No, it comes from Bugisu.
No. Madam Speaker, I have researched, and my grandparents told me it is from Sese Islands. It is unfortunate the minister has left. Madam Speaker, the justification the minister gives, if he were to ask me out on a date, I would not go with him. Yes, because the justification is really
He's
wanting.
your grandfather.
Who cares? Madam Speaker, I mean, it is
Honorable Gwang in the house, size mate.
No, that one is young.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, my point is, Madam Speaker, what I am driving to is that the justification he gives, for rationalizing is wanting. It would not make anybody believe in him.
I'm going to ask him to give us more justification. Yes.
Thank you, Madam
Before
Speaker.
I give this side to debate, before I give stepmothers, I'll give the minister first to give a proper justification. Yes, Dennis. Honorable Mapendusi.
Hello. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, from the report, it is evident that UCDA was established in 91 and it is 33 years old now. But since establishment, coffee production has increased from 1.7 million bags now to 6.17 million bags. And that is a very steady progress. Right Honorable Speaker, I also learned from Honorable Kia that other parts of the country have also started growing coffee. And that is steady. I think, Right Honorable Speaker, it will be fatal for us to rationalize an entity, an agency that is now spreading across the country. Right Honorable Speaker, therefore, I think it is only in bad spirit that government would want to absorb and swallow this entity, UCDA. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday when Honorable Kabanda was submitting here, he told us how the Ministry of Agriculture lost land to General Kaindo. If they were not, if they were serious enough, they should have been in position to keep the property of the ministry. I think they can easily also fall asleep and we lose this agency, UCDA, which has our members.
Yes. First give your neighbor now, Christine.
Thank
Christine.
you. Thank you.
First
Thank
give him to speak. David.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I come from a coffee growing family. My dad was the chairman of the East Milk Growers Cooperative Union.
That's why I gave you.
Yes, those organizations that made people rich. In our area, I've ever read a government document where government say that it made errors in privatization, which is almost the same we are having now. The government testifying that out of the mistake it has made, this government, it was privatization. Right Honorable Speaker, recently I received people, the elders from my constituency, who are saying that there is a deliberate program of making this central region very poor. Right Honorable Speaker, we had the lake, our people can no longer go to the lake because of the issues there. People don't go to the gold mines because of the rich people owning them. What we are only remaining with is coffee, Right Honorable Speaker. Therefore,
Christine Sebamala.
Thank you.
Asimbwa Sebamala.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm coming from Bukomansimbi, which is the most coffee growing district here in Uganda. And I'm so happy that I can now submit. Right Honorable Speaker, in Bukomansimbi district, when a child is beginning to speak, they start with a major cash crop in Uganda. And everyone here knows that if it wasn't coffee, we wouldn't be here today.
Oh.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Not me.
Let me.
Not
actually, because being that coffee is the major cash crop, I am standing here to dissolve the perception instead of dissolving the UCDA. Let us dissolve the perception of these NRM MPs who have been here mentioning, who have been here mentioning that, some NRM MPs who have been here mentioning that the MPs this side who are discussing about coffee is because of the voters' interest, that because the election time is about reach.
Christine,
for your information, we are
bring
just
your point.
Okay, right Honorable Speaker. The point I'm trying.
Christine, let me guide you. Let me guide you. Let me guide you, Christine. Wait. Let me guide you. You're saying without coffee, we will not be here. Me, I'm not here because of coffee. Number one. Number two, don't start pinpointing. No NRM has talked. I have not balanced the house. I have not balanced the house.
Right, Honorable Speaker, for that. But the Honorable Member who was here.
You expand that from the order, from...
Okay. Right, Honorable Speaker.
Withdraw.
I withdraw from the majority, but there is a Honorable Member who came here and
withdraw.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
And speak why you don't want rationalization.
Okay, let me withdraw. But I know when it comes that side, that's what they're going to say. I'm withdrawing that. Right, Honorable Speaker. The point I'm trying to bring out is that we are not speaking about UCDA because of the voters, because of the elections which are due. We are fighting.
Simba.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday we were told by the chairperson that UCDA performs beyond.
Just a minute. In the public gallery this afternoon, we have students and teachers from Goodmark Secondary School, located in Mukono District, presented by Honorable Kiwanuka Abdallah and Honorable Nabukera Hanifa. Hanifa, they are there. Wave. You greet them.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My students
Simba,
of Mukono, you're very welcome to Parliament. This is the Parliament of Uganda, and this is a Parliament that makes laws that govern the country. You are welcome. Right Honorable Speaker, thank you for this time. I want to associate myself with the minority report, and also want to disagree with rationalization.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I was saying yesterday the Honorable Chair told us that UCDA is performing beyond the target. They have improved by quality, and they have raised good revenue. Now, we are asking, why do we rationalize UCDA before we think of other entities which are not making profit, like URA and other entities?
Thank you.
I think UCDA must stay, and we think of URA and other entities.
Thank you.
Sebamala.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Mukatuliki and then Kawalia.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I will stand here to tell my fellow members,
listen,
that I'm not only a coffee farmer, but also an exporter. I have been in this business for quite some time. Coffee development has very many stages, from growing, that the type of soil, transportation, all those steps employ Ugandans to export. And the quality of coffee is what makes us stand out. It is what those people out there are looking for. I want the minister, why I discern, and I don't want actually to talk about dissolving UCDA is one. I want us to tell us how far you are, what steps you have taken, how far you are from within all those steps of coffee production, of the coffee value chain. Where are you? What shows that you're doing something before you even dissolve UCDA? So that we can say 3 years. You will say that you won't even need you don't even need only 3 years to go ahead.
Thank you.
Just transportation. Sorry.
Catholic.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I would like to thank the chairman, the person who read the chairperson of the committee for the wonderful report she gave, apart from the conclusion. I liked every bit of it because she really brought it out that there was nothing that was repeated or, and everything, but the conclusion was, that's where we diverted, we deviated from each other. And my point here is, Madam Speaker, when you look at history, we had the cash crops. We had the coffee, cotton, tobacco, and tea. All those cash crops, they actually mapped that cotton is northern, I think tobacco West Nile, and then tea some parts, and there are organizations that run. All was Lint Marketing Board for cotton. There was coffee.
Kawalia.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, let me add my voice to that of the precurrent speakers, that at least I also want to appreciate the report, apart from the conclusion. When we are speaking about coffee, we are speaking about the chief cash crop of this nation. It is the backbone of most of us here. We all know that most of our parents, our grandparents, benefited from coffee. And during those days, like in the 60s and 70s, the quality of our coffee was compromised. It was not until when UCDA was established that at least the quality of our coffee has improved. So, as Ugandans, we all know what coffee has done to most of the Ugandans, most especially the youth. We all know that most Ugandans are unemployed, and most of those who don't have resolved to go and start growing coffee. What plans does government have? We all know the bureaucracy that is very, very growing in most of the government agencies, most especially the ministries. You're now saying that you want to merge or even dissolve or abolish. What plans do you have for the young generation?
Can we hear now from the
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Can we hear from the minister? Before the minister, the law.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And Right Honorable Speaker, I'm glad that to a great extent, people that, colleagues that come from the coffee growing areas have been able to voice out the concerns of the stakeholders from the areas where they come. Right Honorable Speaker, we were here yesterday and the reports were tabled. I listened to the report of the Honorable Linda, very good report, as she kept laying down the good about UCDA. She mentioned UCDA is hitting its targets. The coffee economy has grown over the years. The roles of UCDA and MAIF are totally different and cannot be bungled together, and so on and so forth. I wondered what happened now with the conclusion, because I thought after that stage, it would be clear that MAIF should keep doing what it is doing. UCDA should be empowered to continue doing what it has been doing. Honorable Speaker, of course, like any other entity, UCDA has some imperfections, without a doubt. But the challenges at the ministry are enormous. And that's why, as colleagues have been clearly airing it out, some of what the ministry is handling has seemed to be too much on its plate. And yet we are saying UCDA has been thriving. Why don't we empower it to thrive a lot more? Why don't we empower it to go to those areas which have now begun growing coffee? Because I listened to colleagues from West Nile and elsewhere, and they're saying we've also begun to grow coffee. Had not reached there. And clearly it is because, Right Honorable Speaker, government had decided, let us zone the country. These ones coffee, these ones dairy, and that kind of thing. And we must be able to move away from that. Yeah? Yeah, because if a crop area, why not? Why not let it? So can we empower UCDA to go to those other areas? Because if it is showing that it is able to thrive in the areas where it is thriving now, why do you imagine it will have limitations when you empower it to go elsewhere? Honorable Speaker, the stakeholders of the coffee economy, including of course MPs from the coffee growing area, have spoken on behalf of the 12.5 million people that are involved in the coffee economy. Can we listen to these stakeholders? Yesterday we did listen to colleagues who were making a case saying they are from the dairy areas, the cattle growing areas, the cotton growing areas, and they told us, because we began to defend them, and they said, no, you people keep quiet. We are the ones who grow cotton. We are the ones who are producing milk. So we understand our issues better. And we want those entities to go back to the ministry. We actually gave up the fight. We said, now, how do you fight for someone who is saying, for us to want our entities to be rationalized? We let them be. Today, Right Honorable Speaker, you're hearing voices of people who represent stakeholders that are growing coffee. We need to listen to them. Honorable Speaker, I even think, personally, if need be, maybe some people who might say, well, we are not too sure, you could grant them maybe 2 weeks or that kind of thing to go and establish from their constituents, to be certain, because a number of us who are speaking, we have consulted the stakeholders that represent in our mind. We are speaking the mind of the stakeholders that we represent. Very critically, the mandate of the 11th Parliament, this one, ends in 2026. I wonder why then we will say, let's give 3 years or even 5 years to bind the 12th Parliament. Why? Why do we want to bind the Parliament that will come after us? A number will be back, but we shall be back in the 12th Parliament. This is the 11th Parliament. If government is convinced 3 years or even 5 years to get the ministry set, to put in place all the infrastructure that is required, why don't you wait for the 3 years to elapse, put your house in order, come to the 12th Parliament and make your case? Because now we are operating in anticipation to say, well, we hope in 3 years we shall be ready. But you see, as some colleagues have mentioned rightly, to get the certification and all the infrastructure that is required in place, you need to do that. So government, let the 3 years, 5 years or whatever time you require to get ready, to put your house in order. Come to the 12th Parliament and make your case. Don't ask the 11th Parliament to bind the Parliament that will come after us.
Thank you. Honourable Minister. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I've been in the House and I've noted and observed you've given opportunity to your left side to contribute on this very important national matter. And those of us this side have been denied the opportunity to contribute on this very important matter, Right Honourable Speaker.
I'm going to give you.
So,
I want a clarification. I want a clarification, Minister, first on what they have asked. Then I will come on this side.
Most obliged.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. The intensity of this debate shows the seriousness of the subject. We are in a country
which is struggling for opportunity for people. Now, I have listened and I would like to make some comments. The political economy of the so-called allocation of the crops in various parts of Uganda. It has got a colonial history. First of all, the British told us a big lie that coffee does not grow in northern Uganda because they were and better educated than one called Peter Abe and another one called Semei Nyanzi. They planted coffee in their compounds in defiance to challenge that lie. Why did the British do this? They subjected the people from the Upper Nile, which is northern Uganda, to the seasonal crops, which require a lot of hard labor. It is not as rewarding, and you are tied down to only your garden. You can't even operate a shop. Unlike the people in the south who had the perennial crops like tea and coffee, while the coffee is making money for you are able to do other things. And the purpose, the hidden purpose, was to force the people of the north to enroll in the army and choose salaries over self-employment. I thought I should share that aspect of the political economy. So I think it is inappropriate to say we are not to blame that you never caught up with the coffee. It is important that we understand it as a matter of fact. Secondly, Madam Speaker, and finally, there is a false dichotomy here. We are not choosing between Ministerial and CDA. They are both part of Uganda. What we want to achieve is to share our real experiences vis-a-vis what it is. When you are choosing between your experience and what you are being told, I'm sure you choose your experience. Madam Speaker, my wife is a coffee grower. And the coffee is now flowering. She's even picking. I have not seen UCDA on the farm, Ministry of Agriculture either. That is my experience. Madam, don't shout, improve your argument.
Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, wait. Honorable members.
We are here sharing experiences.
Honorable members.
UCDA has not helped us.
Honorable members.
Helped us.
Honorable members.
We are virtually on our own. So let's find a way together.
Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Let us not start this false rope pulling.
Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
In the 3 years, UCDA will be packed at the Ministry of Agriculture. It is a packing lot while we find a way to serve those of us who are on our own. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Minister. Honorable members, kindly listen.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and honorable colleagues. I want to thank you for your contribution and for the clarification you thought. I would like to start with the justification transition.
Honorable members, kindly listen to the minister. You wanted a
Right Right Honorable Speaker, once again I want to thank members for their contribution and also want to thank them for the clarification they thought, because most of the arguments are not based on informed decision of the intention of government. One, clarification for 3 years transition. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, government is sensitive to the stakeholders, and because stakeholders seem to have been misinformed by the government decided to allow 3 years transition to make sure that the stakeholders are plugged so that we move forward. And arrived of interaction of the stakeholders and the head of state. That UCDA is independent.
One second.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I see we are moving slowly, and we are going to get to a point where the House needs to understand the Minister very well.
Yes.
He mentions that there is an agreement or a meeting took place, and 3 years is what government is willing under transition. Before we even go to the 3 years, the Minister must define so that we understand the ingredients of transition. What is it when you say transition? Because if that is clear to this House, it may actually unlock the gridlock. What is it that entails in the package called transition of UCDA to the Ministry of Agriculture? You speak about that so that we see all the elements, and if that comes out clear, it may help us to move, because throwing the word transition and may not help us.
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, we are changing the mode of operation. We are not changing the intentions and functions of regulation of the coffee sector. The 3 years transition means that we are putting them in the structure in the ministry to make sure department. Two, yes.
The reason why I'm asking, when we now go into the clause by clause, we need to define the word transition. If we go there, and if you cannot explain it yet, it makes it difficult for us to think that we should even go there.
We shall define it.
Right Honorable Speaker, this transition period will be supervised by the Ministry of Public Service. And yes, because it is the mandated ministry. Colleagues, it is not true that UCDA is of the ministry. UCDA is semi-autonomous. And whatever they have been doing, the policy guidance is from the Ministry of Agriculture. Right Honorable Speaker, there is no such a thing like accreditation of UCDA. First, listen. The membership of the countries for coffee is by country. Accreditation is for the labs. And I want to tell you, Right Honorable Speaker and members, when we withdrew from ICO, that Uganda would not take directly coffee unless they go through another agency. And this is a mischief that you people now supporting UCDA had actually pointed out. Somebody, I think this was MP from Buvuma. I want to congratulate him, to appreciate that oil palm has transformed the island. But also it has transformed that island. There is no oil palm authority. So, honorable colleagues, you raise the issues. Let me respond to them one by one. The coffee requires a regulator from garden to the table. The regulator is derived from the law. The government intends to empower the new department with the same law to give them authority.
When you were talking, the minister never put you in order. No, you first listen to the minister. Yes, Honorable Minister, could the 3 years be a time that you want to buy for you to get the quality control systems?
Right, Honorable Speaker. As I mentioned earlier, we don't want to lay off those who are doing the work. We are not going to abolish the functions of UCDA. The functions of UCDA will be executed. Please.
Clarification. As soon as you sit.
Clarification, just Madam.
You sit.
Clarification, Madam Speaker.
Sit.
Right, Honorable Speaker. The authority to regulate the power to regulate will be to the department.
Which department? The UCDA. Which department in the ministry? The coffee department.
They will be in the
UCDA.
They will be in the development in extension.
Yes.
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 See, directorate. Right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the approved structure is that there will be a commissioner for coffee development. And this commissioner will have all his assistants and support staff to regulate the coffee. Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Sebamara inquired me to show the house, how far we have with the regulation of the coffee industry in the value chain. Right now, we are using UCDA to do the job. From UCDA, we are going to use the same department to do the job. Whatever is said now, whatever they have achieved, the law of agency is that the actions of the agent binds on the principle. And to the supreme authority lies the blame or credit for the results. The good results, therefore, are credited to the ministry and the government itself. I want to clarify that the colonial zoning ended, and therefore we are looking at soil suitability mapping, and we have recommended enterprise selection countrywide depending on suitability of the areas. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, it is good to walk the talk. If you are a nationalist and you can allow the other authorities to be rationalized and you resist one.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me well. Madam Speaker,
the procedures in this house, which you were custodian of.
James, I've not given you to.
Allowed me.
No.
You nodded.
James, no.
But would you?
James. I know you're my friend, but no. I did not give you.
Madam Speaker, how can a minister
James, I did not give you to speak. You listen. You first listen. Honorable members, any other minister who has a clarification? Okay, honorable Goli, Export Promotion Board. Just a minute, Aisha.
Thank you very much.
A minute.
Thank you very much.
Ajat, wait.
I think
Ajat, wait.
When you are developing a product for export, there are critical things which you look at. Supply related issues and demand related. The supply related relate to how can you have quantity and quality in place. And for Uganda's case, what was done was to have narrow, do the research for quality and also for fighting coffee resistant resilience. So those become very key issues. You find out that narrow element of what was a little bit confused with what UCDA should do. The other issue I'm presenting, the other issue which you need to see is the demand side, which is how is the market related to the supply and response to it. However, I want to mention that the high price of coffee which we are seeing is just like we saw vanilla. You recall how vanilla did perform? It was very high because of problems of coffee. For coffee currently, it's because of the frost which happened in Brazil to enable the up. That is not UCDA certainly. The issue I wanted also to mention is about, I saw the very important issues which were brought, things like staff, and the issue of staff where we need to maintain them, and 3 years was quoted. I want to mention 3 years, that staff have contract for 3 years. The other issue which was also mentioned is the Ethiopia, Kenya. They had agencies. When they changed, they went back, isn't it? They have gone back now. And the 3-year issue comes in, which is in our law, transition. So when you have, they did not do a transition to make corrections. You are having and embedding a transition process to correct those possible wrongs. And then also the 3 years.
Honorable Goli, can you explain a bit about the transition in this circumstance?
My view is that in the transition, and this is what I wanted to mention, the most important thing of UCDA is regulation. If you are going to do the regulation and have that international acceptability, you need to prepare. You need to prepare the laws which can make you enforce. You need to prepare the laboratory which can make you do the things which are required. So those are the, you need to allow for the staff we are complaining for. So the staff, they have their contracts for 3 years. So 3 years become a consistent position for transition. So there are so many other things which can be done in the transition, but I think that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's beyond.
I want to mention.
He's giving you information.
What we are doing and how it came, very briefly. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm a member of the Agriculture Committee. The President, His Excellency, asked to meet the Committee of Finance, Agriculture, and National Economy. The position of government was, as the Minister says, to rationalize UCDA instantly, like with others. But because of the advocacy and the strong clarity that the President got, that the Ministry of Agriculture, from the committee's positions, that the Ministry of Agriculture is not at all ready, we agreed that we postpone the rationalization from the instant day to give time to Ministry of Agriculture to prepare itself. That is the transition we are talking about. And that is why now the committee says, Right Honourable Speaker.
Yes. Right Honourable Speaker, let me give one comfort.
Yes.
Fish in Uganda was banned to be exported in European Union. And when fish was banned, they created a department in the Ministry of Agriculture. And that department is doing very well and maintaining international issues of fish.
Order, Madam Speaker, order.
Honorable members.
It has happened.
Eyo ye Uganda. Ye government ya General Museveni. Yo buli weeraba ewali ensimbi yagala esimbewo oluseke ezinywewo. Oyo bibozibozi baleeta mbu ebbeeyi y'emmwanyi erinnye lw'enjega eyagwa mu bannaffe ab'e Brazil. Y'ebbeeyi y'emmwanyi okulinnya. Naye era singa esanze bannayuganda nga si beeteefuteefu ng'emmwanyi teziriiwo bandifunye emmwanyi ze batunda ku bbeeyi. Era singa basanze ng'omutindo gwa emmwanyi za Uganda nga mufu tezandibadde accepted. Naye byonna basanze bannayuganda 245 lwa UCD. Okitegedde. Kati General Museveni omanyi ye nkugambye nti ayagala wali ssente wasimba. Bulijjo balaba ebbeeyi y'emmwanyi ng'eri ya munaganwa. Kati balaba skyrocketing eri waggulu mu bire. Agaba n'Abaganda bagenda kungaggawalako. Bano abantu bagenda kufuna ensimbi njakuba kitasobola kuba controllinga. Kati alina okubateeminga bakomyewo wabeetaaga. Olidde boogedde ku vanilla, boogedde ku kaji, boogedde ku bintu bingi ebibadde bijja nga bibeera managed by mu gavumenti ya Museveni. Byonna nga bisaanye biflopinze. Bagambye wala talina ssente zeekola okujjako okwongera okukanda bannayuganda omusolo naye ng'ate tefuna ssente zeyina kufuna oba onfuna byonna kubanga biri mu ministry byonna bifu ya gavumenti ya Museveni. Kati balaba kino tebakirina mu control bulungi, bakifunye batya mu control to kill it. Okifuna nagambye nti waliwo factory yakoleddwa ntungama eyo kwongera ku mutindo gwa mmwanyi inoga yanika kazatunda obaguze bazitwala entungamo bazonge get more money. Ate zino arguments zino Museveni za I value on what we export. Where achira banno sente nyingi ezidi ku mmwanyi. Okitegedde. Kati yayagala buli kimu akiteeke mu nsawo ye. Yamanya bannayuganda bazimba nnyo. N'abatandika amakolero ga tayiro ga muganda we sali musali batuguze tayiro baberenga buli sente erina kugenda mu nsawo yaabwe. Buli munnayuganda kyokola kirina kuba nga kiri controlled by bo era nga bakifunamu gwe tolina kukifunamu. Linda ekigenda okuva mu bino emmwanyi zigenda kusaanawo agannyabo gwe just tunula bagambyeko nti kye tulina okukola kugamba bantu baffe tebali kuguza General Museveni kiri simple nnyo. Bonna bati balina mwanyi bajja kubivaamu. Bajja kuba balemereddwa. Kyetulina okwadvocatinga fu nti tewali kubaguza mwanyi, tuzitereke mwanyi zaffe. Bajja kubivaamu agannyabo kuba bajja kuba bagudde. Beewoza ssente nnyingi okumaintaininga kino kanga babbe mwanyi. Bali ku pineti kibaliko bali ne kati pineti oli bali bamesedde mu linnya ly'omuzungu, kati pineti bamesedde mu linnya ly'omuddugavu under ministry. Ministry yejja okusalawo ki kye yeetaaga. Kati ebejja kuba ina obuyinza katuliwe peneti yejja kusalawo tugula bbeeyi ki. Bajja kugamba nti anti mwanyi kataleke ensona kazaagudde bbeeyi. Okitegedde onoogaana kudondola bonga bagenda batunda ku musimbi omungi bwe guti. Gwe ng'osigala tofunyeemu bonga bafunyeemu. Kibaliko to make us poor for them to be rich. Mwawulira waliwo akatambi akali katambula ka mutabani wa Museveni Lwabogo yagamba they have to make us Ugandans slaves to work for them. Yeah, bo bagala to be a loyal family with the prince, princess and the kings. Fe nga tuba okukolerera gwe kyola wansi kulima emwanyi zirabire zikungula bo bawe ku kasente akatini okitegera bo batunde ku sente nyingi kibaliko kyebagala kyebabala sawa zino. So muna Uganda weberere mu muganda wange manya kirina okukolebwa zuukuka mu comfort gy'oli tutaase mwanyi. Let's fight together. Let's do it together. Let's do this. Everybody, me, you, everyone must participate in fighting this battle. Because if we lose it, win it, where we're going, I will not tell. But it is a collapse. It's a failure. We'll never be rich again. We will never construct houses again. We will never buy cars, motorcycles again. Everything is going to be down. So let's fight for our cash. Mukama bakume mwera.